Hello, welcome to Couch Time with Sonja. I am Sonja Lowe, the Embrace Coach. And all I have to say is if you missed part one of this episode, you want to go back and watch it. This is actually part two of the Man Cave. And it was so amazing in part one that now part two, we're going to go a little bit deeper. So welcome to the Man Cave.
I'm ready for this. Are you ready for Couch Time with Sonja? I'm ready.
Bear. Be authentic, real, and exposed. Becoming Bear is a continual and intentional process that requires courage and perseverance. Life has a way of tainting the realities of who we really are. From the moment we are born, others place their expectations upon us, and we strive to become someone we were never created to be. To experience a fulfilling life of purpose, we must discover our Bear self. Becoming Bear begins with a decision. Will you choose to live in the familiarity of chaos, or will you elect to live in the freedom of becoming your Bear self? Experience freedom and healing. Embrace becoming Bear. Welcome back to part two of the Man Cave. Gosh, all I have to say is if you missed part one of the Man Cave, you have to go back and watch. Did you all agree? They have to go back and watch part one. But I'm so excited to be sitting here today with Terry, there I go, look, comedian Grossman, and also Michael Wilson and Bradford Lowe Sr. And I am Sonja Lowe, the Embrace Coach, and your host of Couch Time with Sonja. But I'm ready to just dive into the next questions. You know I am. Ladies, we get the opportunity to hear from men, a single man and two married men that actually are giving their honest and open, I call it their bare truth. They're being authentic, they're being real, they're being exposed with what they think. And so I want to jump into one of the questions. Besides sex, guys, what are ways to nurture relationships? Besides sex, what are other ways to nurture relationships? And let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with our single man on the set. So, do you believe?
Yes, I do. It's called good sleep. Nurture your body.
So I see that you don't believe. You are so awful.
Don't get it. You don't get no bacon.
So I believe that you really think that there's no other way for you to nurture your relationship.
Oh, you can nurture it in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. What other ways would you say besides sex? Let me get away from you and go on to, let me go on to one of our married men. Brad, what would you say, babe, would be actually, what would you say?
Oh, yeah, what would you say?
Well, for you and our relationship, communication. You know, some alone time, a hug,
Man.
Affection.
That's good. Communication. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, right.
I gave you the opportunity to give your answer. It is Michael's turn to give his answer.
You know, it's funny. I mean, we all are multifaceted.
Yeah, we
So,
are.
Without question, sex, that level of intimacy is critical. But then there's the emotional side, the spiritual side, you know, that also needs that nourishment. And I know for one, for me, being able to handle that intimacy, the emotional. Sometimes I fall short in the other areas that nurture our relationships, and that may be even in the spiritual category, and understanding how to fulfill her in that aspect. So, I think those are some of the other dimensions, man, of women and men equally that that contribute to that nourishment that's necessary.
Man, that's good. That's good points.
Yeah, foreplay starts in the morning when you wake up.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it goes all day long. And so the
Yes.
end result of that is love making.
Yes.
Right.
So, but you're making those deposits throughout the day.
There it is.
That's good points.
There it is.
That's something that I always discuss with our dating couples and our married couples is intimacy. I always call it intimacy. Intimacy. So in order for you to see within me, before we get to what we call the intimacy of sex, is for you to see me. That's really what we want as women, is for you to see me. So I truly believe waking up in the morning, I tease him all the time, waking up in the morning, truly, everything starts then. What are you doing throughout the day? What are those deposits throughout the day that you're doing? It could be a simple, hit someone on the butt in the morning. That's a deposit. It's a simple fixing their coffee or putting gas in their car is making deposits, And so I just love the fact that, thank you, hearing from each one of you, and your thought pattern of how to nurture a relationship. Sex shouldn't be the first way that you nurture a relationship. So
But
good
let me ask you a
points.
question, though.
Yes.
Why, when you get married, I hear this a lot. When you're married, why women stop having sex?
It's a good point. Good question. I don't believe I've been married 29 years, Brad and I, and can't say it stops. No, but over time, things do change. Things that maybe the frequency may change. Women are walking through, and I'm gonna speak for me as a woman, walking through a lot of different hormonal changes, especially if you've had children. Especially after our kids, my body totally changed. Walking through so many different emotional things where there was a time, and of course I can be honest and he's okay with me being honest, there was a time where I really had no real libido, right, baby? Just walking through this, what is wrong with me? And I knew something was wrong. But as a woman, what I had to do was recognize too, my husband has needs as well. My husband will think that something's wrong with him. And so what I had to do was come to him with a real conversation. I had to say, babe, I need to talk to you. And I literally had to talk to him to tell him how I was feeling, right? And something's wrong with my body. I don't know what's wrong. It's not you. Babe, it's not you at all. So I want you to know that it's not you. And we had one of those, what I call intimate conversations, which was, I think, a turning point even for our marriage after all the years, where I was real and vulnerable and he was real and vulnerable. And it was a beautiful moment, but it does change because women's bodies change, but the man also has to be willing to listen to the point that, okay, there's something going on. I need to help her find out what's going on, and I went to the doctor.
love. That's
It
real
is.
relationship.
And you
Yes.
can get bored with it too, because if everything is just so routine, you keep doing things the same way all the time, you can get bored with it. So which is a turnoff.
Yes.
And so that's why I say you have to make deposits throughout the day. There have to be something else going on besides just that.
Yeah.
So you're building up to that moment.
Yeah.
Do a little role playing if you have to.
That's right.
Breaking your own
Switch
house.
up some things.
Yeah. Yeah. He's so silly. One of the things I think as believers, we have kind of stop being bad. As believers, I truly believe that sometimes we feel like we can't talk like we're talking right now. As believers, we've got to be in this little box that everything has to be a certain way. Please, if you're married, look, I'm going to put married couples, please your spouse. What does that look like for your spouse? And we're not going to get into that conversation, but I'm just saying, what does that look like for your spouse? Only you know that. So it's making sure that you don't keep things stale, change things up, and that's real conversation.
Listen, we won't go down that path, but I will say that my wife and I have had conversations about what can I do?
Yes, come on.
What can I
Well,
do
yes,
differently?
yes.
I know I'm not the same guy I was when I was 22.
Yes.
Yeah, endurance isn't always as great, but what can I do differently
good.
to kind of keep things, new?
That's right.
fresh? And so I think that's
right.
critical. It's critical.
I love it, and to be okay with what those answers are as well.
Yep.
Because those answers are not saying you're not doing it. It's just that these are the things I might like more. It's just great conversation, guys. Great conversation. Well, there's so much more, but hey, stay tuned. Grab you some coffee, some tea, or whatever you want to drink, and we'll be right back.
Here at T&D Tax Service LLC, we offer a full service of business from tax preparation, tax planning, business bookkeeping, business coaching, company setup, payroll, and money management, along with credit restoration. We are highly trained with proven ability to communicate well with diverse groups, individuals, corporations, and small businesses. We will get the job done. Contact us today at 281-856-6568, or we can also be reached at any social media. If you're starting a business, we can help you get the job done. At T&D Tax Service, our motto is, when you start off right, you end up right.
Let's be honest. Making a lukewarm marketing video is fairly simple. But who wants lukewarm marketing? Instead, how about something that conveys your unique message? Well, that takes creativity, and creative is what we are. We design custom logos. We even offer professional print services. Our goal is to showcase how good your idea is, no matter what your product is. Whether it's social media marketing for a new author or the artwork for the book itself, we can help. You've created a new app and need a TV commercial to show it to the world. We can help.
Now they're Stork Advisor.
If you're a photographer trying to show off your work in a unique way, we can help. Need a promo for your TV show? We can help with that too.
It's Couch Time with Sonja.
We're an artistic bunch and we love the creative process. We're not trying to be the best in Houston. We're trying to be the best for you.
If you would like to be a guest or advertise your business on Couch Time with Sonja, I would love to hear from you. Email me. Visit couchtimewithsonja.com.
Welcome back to Couch Time with Sonja. I'm sitting here in the man cave. Being the only woman in the man cave, Lord help me. But we are having so much fun. These guys are so amazing just because they're real. They're authentic. They're being exposed, man. And I'm so grateful because they're giving us insight from the way they think, from a male perspective, but from a single man and married men. So let's kind of get back into our questions. Guys, we know that fathering children, it's easy to father children, but it's a different, it's easy to have children, but to father them is a different story. So let's actually talk about how can we as women help you father your sons, your daughters in a better way. And then if there were some mistakes that maybe you've noticed along the way to maybe encourage another man. So my first part of the question is, as women, how can we help you father either your sons or daughters, because we can also stand in the way sometime of men fathering. So I definitely have to touch on to that point. And then the second portion would be, how can you encourage another male with maybe some mistakes you've seen or things that you might have done differently? So
I would say be in agreement on how to raise your kids. You know, because kids will get to a point to where they'll play the parents against each other. You know, they will go to you with something after they've already asked me. And so I would think the first thing that parents should do is just be in agreement on how they're going to raise their kids. You know, we know now it takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of understanding. You know, the way we raised our son and our oldest daughter we have completely gotten away from that because we made mistakes
Yes.
as parents.
Yes.
A lot of times you raise your kids because you were raised that way. And so you still have that system going. You know, what worked for us back in those days don't work today.
No,
So,
doesn't.
so kids want to communicate more now, and they want to voice their opinions more now.
Yes.
Well, when I was growing up, you didn't have an opinion.
No,
You know, and so you just had to listen and do what they say do.
That's right.
Well, right now, you know, kids want to be able to
That's true.
express themselves.
That's true. That's
So
good, babe.
We've learned through trial and error.
Yeah.
You know, some of the mistakes we made with our kids.
I love that he said being in agreement.
Yeah.
Being in agreement is how women can help you father your sons or daughters. How about you?
You know, to tag on to that, to me, it's role clarity. You know, I have two girls,
Yes.
two beautiful girls, and my situation is a little unique. I grew up in a household with all women. My father was never really in the picture, but my grandfather and my uncles were always there. And my grandfather raised 3 women and had a wife. And so I'm accustomed to being around women, yet I still don't understand them.
I don't think you ever will.
But at the end of the day, my point is, when I say role clarity, it's really helping me understand, having my wife help me understand my role and accepting my role in raising our daughters. There's a lot that I can teach them, but there are certain things, because they're women, that they have to get from their mother.
That's
I can't
good.
give that to
That's
them.
so good,
And
Mike.
so that's key, and then also being in agreement, as Brad said, man, with how we're raising them. I'm a blend of old school with new school.
That's right.
And so there are certain things that I say, and there's no questioning that. Just roll with it. It's for your good.
Right.
And then there are other times where I allow them to express themselves. And it's just my wife and I being on that same page.
That's
and
good.
having that same mindset in terms of how we approach it. So I agree with you. Being in agreement in how you raise them, but then also understanding your role as a father and her embracing your role as a father.
That's good. How about you?
Ain't no more big mamas.
Yeah,
Big
you're
mamas
right
is
about
getting
that.
important.
Oh,
If
yeah.
You leave that street, yeah, I got you.
You're so right about that.
That raised you right. Like, you know, so like, I just think that pay attention to what your kids are doing as they're growing up. Especially when they get teenagers, things gonna start changing. That's right.
Yes.
Sneaking going around.
That's
like this
right.
going around. So you gotta watch them, especially when you got 2 girls. Come on. Cause then that's when the guys will come in and they gonna take their mind from them, man. They gone. Prime example, my cousin, he raised his daughter by himself since she was a baby, and now she's beginning to be 18 and she's so out of control. He had to send her to her mom's so she can get some mama skills, because that's all she know is her daddy. So when you said that, that brought me to that.
Yeah.
To mention that out, because girls do need to figure out what women know.
Yes.
If we was to raise them by ourselves, the only thing I know is men, guess what? They gonna have nothing but men. That's how I see it.
Right.
So let a woman show them something they may listen. You know, because I know what you're saying about the 2 girls.
That's good.
I'll sneak up on my daughter in a second. My
Oh,
12
yes.
my 12
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yes.
grab her from behind and I'll say a little something in her ear.
Come on.
And
Come on.
I'll say, how did that make you feel? I said, so get ready, because that's what these young boys
Come
gotta do.
on. That's
So I
it.
start doing little things like that to educate them so that it's not new to them.
That's it.
So when a young man,
Mm-hmm.
boy come,
And then the matter be you.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I already heard that from my dad.
Come
So
on.
I ain't
That's
gotta- I ain't
it.
gotta worry about
That's
what
it.
you trying to kick in my ear.
That's it.
So, you know, that's how I treat my daughters, man. I give them the realness of what they're going to experience when they leave them 4 walls.
That's so
Yeah.
good.
So we had
good.
a son and daughters, right? And so mostly with my son, I took the lead role, you know, because them boys want the mother to pamper them.
Right.
You know, and so I normally took the lead role when it came to discipline my son. You know, I mean, she was able to do it too, but like you say, a man can teach him to be a man, and a woman can teach their daughters to be a woman.
That's right.
And so, you know, with my daughters, yeah, I'm a little bit more lenient towards my daughters, you know, than she would be when it comes to discipline. But I do date my daughters.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
I take my daughters out on dates. I open doors for them. We have conversations about guys. This is how a guy should treat you.
That's right.
You know, and treat her like a lady. Treat her like I expect her to choose her husband.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so
Absolutely.
those are some of the things we do with our daughters.
Yeah.
You know, they look forward to date nights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with me. 'Cause I'm spending time with them. I'm finding
That's it,
out
like
what's
you
going
say.
on in their head. You know, and so hopefully, prayerfully, they'll follow that lead as they get older.
Yes.
It's like you said, man. And Mike, your daughter's young too. I'm telling you, man, don't trust them hard heads around your kids.
That's right. That's right.
Because when you're not home, man, your house is unprotected.
That's right.
Trust me, we've been there. You know, your house is unprotected. And these kids nowadays, they're not afraid of coming to your house, man, when you're not home. So you be real careful with those girls, man. Don't trust nobody with your kids. That's right.
Y'all, this is so good.
Relatives
I'm hoping
or
you're
whatever,
enjoying
don't-
it.
Don't trust your kids to be in a certain
Yes.
atmosphere.
Yes.
Even with family sometimes.
That's it.
Right. That's true.
Protect your daughters
true.
at all costs.
Because
At all
he's doing the
costs.
right
Yeah.
thing, though.
Yeah.
What he
Oh,
did,
yeah.
That's the first time I ever heard of that. But that is like, man, that's like the best thing I ever heard.
Yes.
Wow, like I'll sneak up behind you, like, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And now it's like you say, if you hear, if some guy does it, then she going to think about you.
That's right.
Oh, my dad. My
Yeah.
dad. My dad. First thing come to mind, my dad. So you raised them right.
Mm-hmm.
Like my daughter, they grown, so I'm good.
Yeah, this is so good.
They good. All the time they want me. If they want something, that's it. And I don't mind that because they don't come all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna happen too. So
That's right.
yeah, when you want something, just come talk to me.
This is so good. Guys, I could talk all day, but I have one question that we're gonna come back from a commercial and we're gonna end on this one question that I want our guys to end with. So grab you some cup, coffee, tea, whatever you wanna drink, and we'll be right back. We are here live at, oh my gosh, the most beautiful place. I kind of call it more than just furniture, more than just interior designs. It's an experience when you come. We are here at Picture Perfect Interiors and Gifts with the owner, Ms. Zita Commons. Hello, darling. We're so excited. Thank you so much for sponsoring us, our season 4, and allowing us to actually record in your establishment. But tell us a little bit, what made you start Picture Perfect?
Well, first, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank
I love
you.
the store, the beauty of the store, and the atmosphere. We're not just a store. You can come in and visit with us and get ideas. But to your question, I started the store because this has been a dream of mine forever. And I know we've talked in the past about
Yes.
following your dreams, following your vision, and it finally happened for me, and it's been wonderful. We offer mostly accessories. You know, you can go out and buy all the furniture, your faces, but your rooms really come to life when you accessorize it.
So
It's
true.
like your outfit. You can
Right.
wear that top and that skirt, but it really comes to life with the necklace and the earrings.
So true.
And we provide the jewelry for your rooms, the jewelry for your
Oh, I
home.
love it.
Yes, it makes a huge difference. You can keep the furniture you have, accessorize it, and it's a completely different room.
I love the way she brought that analogy together. Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for your love and your support.
Thank
If you are in and around anywhere in Humble, Texas, make sure you come by and see Zita at Picture Perfect Interiors and Gifts. Make sure you tell her that Sonja Lowe, the Embrace Coach, sent you by.